Welcome back. Let's get a check now on the media sector's performance on the share market this week. We're joined by Evan Lucas from IG. Evan, great to have your company on the show, and still all about subscription video on demand again. What are you seeing in terms of iiNet's earnings moves and also the pressure on the TPG deal on the Netflix uptake?
Yeah, there's no doubt that iiNet is showing very clearly that the uptake in Netflix in just a month and a bit that Netflix has been operating is certainly moving that earnings up. You can see a lot of brokers are shifting that way, and the reason it's putting pressure on TPG is the share price is still trading well and truly above the price that it bid for at $8.60. It's currently trading around about $8.98, has been as high as almost touching $9. So all of that idea, the fact that you obviously got this synergy that can be brought in with TPG, the TPG subscribers themselves getting access to things like iiNet's brilliant sort of multimedia access network is also part of it. So maybe they could get an upside pressure in another offer. I'm not sure that'll happen, but there is certainly that there. Or whether or not TPG just has to sweeten the deal to make some of the shareholders inside iiNet a little bit happier. It is the deal to watch. It's certainly the way most people are moving, and that subscription internet proviso coming from iiNet will be a synergy for TPG that they may have to pay a little bit more for.
All right, Evan, we will leave it there. Thanks a lot, as always.
Thanks, Ingrid.
Evan Lucas there at IG Markets. Let's go back now to James Manning, editor and publisher of Mediaweek, who's in the studio with me, still talking this subscription video on demand. And Presto did pretty well. It got a few more subscribers over the Easter break. What's behind that?
Yeah, look, it's the rights to The Walking Dead, which they picked up. It was announced on Good Friday. I think the first 3 seasons they've got up. Season 4 comes online next week, and then later this year they'll get the season that's just finished its run on FX, Season 5. So, yeah, look, built a lot of... they didn't quantify with any numbers, but they don't give out numbers when they don't have to, these US VOD services. So, but they just said, look, it was a massive increase.
Bit of binge watching over the Easter break.
I think it was the biggest thing viewed across, and there's a lot of content on Presto.
Right.
So to rank #1 there by a substantial way means, yeah, it must have been getting a fair bit of traffic.
All right. Plenty of other subscription video on demand activity this week, though. Wynn's been a bit unhappy with Stan. Yeah,
it was relating to the Gallipoli series, which after that first episode, 9 released all the episodes to Stan. Look, I don't think that was probably premeditated because what they were trying to do was generate some buzz about the show, because although the first episode did well, the second one dropped off. That same night they showed a double episode, the numbers dropped, then it really went downhill quickly. So I think they wanted to try and generate a bit of buzz. But I don't think it would have worked. This doesn't happen very often. The ABC's tried it with iView in the past. They've only ever done it once, I think, so it just kills the exclusivity for the free-to-air, so it doesn't really work. I don't think we'll see a lot of that in the future.
Netflix working again with some big names as well.
Yeah, look, Ricky Gervais signed up for a movie there, going to be starring Eric Bana, playing a radio journo. So it sounds like it's going to be a really, really entertaining movie. It's still a long way off. But, yeah, look, they're signing some massive stars, and just the publicity that generated for Netflix this week. A lot of people would have been thinking, oh, well, look, you know, here's another good reason for me to sign to Netflix. So that original content is really key.
Talking radio now, and some sad news for 2UE. It's broadcasting its last bulletin before the merger. Yeah,
look, this week it looks like they're going to be working. There's nothing official yet, but it seems like Thursday this week is the last bulletin for 2UE under their own brand. We don't know what the new merged news offering is going to be called. Maybe Fairfax Radio News. Be coming out of the 2GB studios, we believe. So that'll be happening from next week. There'll be still some staff from both news services coming over, but we don't know if, the sort of number of redundancies that'll be attached to that.
So no official word on those job losses yet?
Yeah, we'll know the great detail next week, I guess.
All right, well, on the flip side, Nova 106.9 celebrating its 10th birthday. What are they doing for it?
Yeah, look, they've got some sort of official parties later this month, but as the celebration is underway now, the breakfast team's up actually trekking the Kokoda Trail. So Ash, Kip and Lutzi, and there's a group of, I think, about 15 to 20 of them doing that over about 10 or 12 days it's going to take them. And they'll be back to sort of talk about it all. They're hoping to do some broadcasts along the way each day, updating their progress with the team that's filling in for them. So it makes them interesting listening. There's a guy from Channel 7 News is on there with them too, and he'll be reporting back to their bulletins as well.
Right, so a bit of cross-promotion there.
Yeah.
News Life Media as well, launching a new digital property this week under publisher Nick Smith. What's this all about? Yeah,
look, Bureau 24/7, I think it's called. It's how you pronounce it. It's sort of, I think it's a lifestyle style. It's been very successful. It's another global brand that's coming into the market, Ingrid. You talked about them before. You know, everybody, if there's a big website that works internationally.
Yeah.
You think, well, let's try and do it in Australia. It came online this week. The official launch is next week, I think, when the founder's going to be out here. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Miroslav Duma, I think is her name. So hasn't had a lot of buzz about it yet, but I think they'll just give it a bit of a slow build. They've got a lot of properties to launch it off, part of the News Life Media, because it's news.com.au, so if they can get some cross-promotion there, the #1 news website in the country could definitely help it.
Now, the Apple Watch as well, it's the first reviews are coming in for this one, and I guess it relates to media companies because they have to come out with new apps, I guess, to suit the Apple Watch. What are we hearing so far with these reviews?
Yeah, look, the big brands are going to be jumping in there. New York Times, CNN,
right.
Twitter's going to have a dedicated app for Pandora
And these
Radio
are brand new apps for the Apple Watch, right?
Absolutely,
okay,
yeah.
Dedicated just to that.
Yeah, well, I guess there'll be modifications of the apps for your iPhone
right.
and stuff like that. But they've got it's a serious reworking of the code, I think, to get the app working on the watch. The first reviews have been pretty positive, really. I think it's 2 weeks away before you can start ordering your own Apple Watch. But yeah, the ratings I've seen have gone from 5 out of 5 to 7 out of 10. So, you know, but been a bit of a chat about there's going to be a lot of apps, but not a lot just to start with, I think. So there's not going to be a lot of launch apps straight away. It's going to be really interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah, a couple of months in, for sure. All right, let's take a look at some of the ratings now, the television ratings. Kicking it off with the week 14 for free-to-air. And I think no surprises to see the top spot this week, James.
Yeah, that cricket final, we talked about that last week, didn't we? So to be heading
and it's
up there.
pretty much taking up most of the top 5 spots as well.
Yeah, absolutely, on both platforms.
And the block in there as well. Let's turn the page, though, and take a look at the rest of them. We've got some Nine News in there.
Yeah. Dr. Blake was the last episode of the 3rd season, so yeah, doing fantastic business for the ABC.
Yeah, for ABC.
I don't think they've announced a 4th series yet, but you've got to think that'd probably come back.
Yeah, number 7 spot there. Well, let's take a look now at the subscription television ratings for week 14. And we knew AFL would be creeping in there, given it's the first official week.
That came true there. We really didn't go out on a limb there, though, did we?
It's pretty much all sport. Let's turn the page
one
and
down
see.
at number 10 there, I think we'll see in the next page. That's Sunny
yes.
Houses. I think it's the 8th series is currently underway, doing some massive business for Lifestyle.
All right, well, let's talk about Foxtel in a bit more detail. It's revealed a start date for its big budget comedy on the Comedy Channel, May 24. Who's in the cast?
Primetime comedy coming back to Sunday nights on television.
Yeah.
Brian Walsh has really been pushing this project for Foxtel. He's a big believer, and there's a big audience out there for comedy if you can get it right. So he's got Rick McKenna and Laura Waters, the 2 EPs. Fantastic track records, those people. Now, some of the people have got involved. Jane Turner, Mark Downey, Glenn Robbins, Gina Riley, Magda Sabansky, Michael Veitch, Shane Jacobson, Stephen Curry. So all the big names.
Yeah,
absolutely. They've gone for the best. So they're spending a bit of money on getting that team together. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with.
And we've also got some big dramas starting on Foxtel as well.
Yeah, we've talked a bit about Game of Thrones quite a bit.
Yep.
Wolf Hall's another one starting up on BBC First this weekend. Game of Thrones, of course, next week. I think Monday it screens here twice during the day, sort of live, if you like, in the afternoon. Same time it goes out in other markets, and then again in prime time in the evening.
Can we talk a bit about BBC Worldwide as well? Because they've announced some of the details of the attractions of British programs. What have they found?
Yeah, look, the #1 attraction for you was British comedy, if you like. So there's a lot of chat about period dramas, obviously, big pull, but the #1 thing is still comedy. So still plenty of British comedies from the BBC on the UK TV channel. On BBC First, I think, runs a little bit of comedy too.
That wouldn't be too much of a surprise, would it?
No, not really. But I would have thought maybe the drama would have been nearly as equal a pull, because the premium drama these days is a massive draw card for viewers, you know. So, but yeah, comedy is still the #1.
New Zealand's Paul Henry, he launched a new multi-platform breakfast show on TV3. What's this all about? Because he was formerly at 10. Yeah,
10, that sort of ill-fated breakfast show. I guess they had 2 cracks at getting the breakfast show right and just really couldn't get the numbers they were after. He went back to New Zealand. He started a late-night sort of talk show. I think it was 4 nights a week there, 4 or 5 nights a week. I'm working for TV3, the commercial network there. But he's just started up this week. It started on Tuesday morning. So the show goes out on TV3 for breakfast time, also goes on radio, and there's a big play online too for people with mobile devices or looking at on PCs or laptops. So too early yet for any numbers of how it's gone, but it'll be a pretty slow start at TV3. Don't really match it in ratings with TVNZ over there, but they're just thinking this multi-platform offering, will it be a way of the future? People have tried it in the past, but we might see a bit more of it.
Now we'll speak about sport. Last week it was all about cricket and the World Cup. This week it's all about golf.
Yeah, look, the US Masters is underway. Massive golf tournament, obviously, and golf fans love it. Does pretty good numbers here too. Fox Sport, that's going to be available here on Fox Sports, but also on 7 Mate. So there's dual rights for that here. But otherwise, Fox Sports have most of the big international tournaments, and they firmed up a lot of their golf rights this week.
Lots to do this weekend then, if you can sit around and watch some golf.
Absolutely, you've got to get up early though.
All right, James Manning, that does wrap up Media Week for this week. Big thank you to James Manning, editor and publisher of Media Week, our co-host, of course. From the team here, thanks so much for your company.